ask me about my ritual about food. How many meals a day I have, what I'm eating the most, what we should absolutely have, what we should avoid, and all these things. So for me, it's very simple. I must say, I will be soon 65, and during my life, my way to eat changed a lot. It's not permanent. It's not something you decide it's like that and it's like that. No, because you have different needs regarding the cycle you are, regarding what is going on in your life. What you have children, not you are pregnant, not you do a lot of exercise, you don't do a lot. You have a special issue you have to take care of. Some people can be allergic or have intolerances to some produce or product or food, so you have to know yourself. The thing is that this is really important. It's to also know why do you eat. Is it that you eat by compensation and you cannot stop eating because you compensate at another level, maybe a lack of emotional, of affection, some fears, or maybe to fill a void somewhere? Or do you eat by pleasure just because you have to feed your body to be, working properly, but with, on the top of that, to have pleasure to cook, pleasure to eat, and to have this in consciousness. My way to be regarding food is like being at home, like always in wonder, because it's my way to be in life. I'm always finding little things exciting and beautiful, and food for me is one of the most amazing things, because how this produce came to me, how they have been made by the ground, because I'm mostly vegetarian, so I love a lot of fruits and vegetables and nuts coming from plants. I'll eat also some fish or eggs, and very rarely meat, but it happens when I feel my body is like craving it. Okay, I eat it without feeling guilty, and I select very well my product. I select if it's red meat, for example. Here in this country we have bison, so I will have maybe one each month or each 2 months bison steak. And I connect to the animal. I connect to the tradition of the Native American regarding bison, that is a sacred animal. And how you can be thankful, because for plants it's the same. When I go to the farmer's market, that I did almost all my life, because for me, I've been raised with people having garden, orchard, and used to work with the ground and to raise fruits and vegetables. So for me, what I look is to have the one, as I had the chance to see how they are when they are real. It's to look for something that is similar to what I knew. And when I am in the market, in a farmer's market, or a market that even if it's not organic, it can be pesticide free, I feel what are the more real and what are the one calibrated, that has no soul. For me, I'm attracted by some fruits or vegetable, this one, not another one, because I have the feeling it's like they call me, take me with you, because maybe they know that I'm gonna prepare them with love. And this is very, very important. So when I come back, I clean everything, I put everything in my fridge, not the fruit, no tomato, never the tomato in the fridge. I tried to keep as well the strawberry as much as possible outside, because they lose their taste. I put avocado in the fridge when they are really good to eat. If I cannot eat the same day like this, they can last 1 or 2 days in the fridge without problem, even more. But I don't prepare my food. I prepare my food when I'm gonna eat it. I never prepare in advance, because everything you cut the oxygen is creating an oxidation and the vitamins are killed. More your food is open to the air, cut and chopped and stay like that, more you lose the nutrients, the vitamin, and more there is oxidation. And you don't want that. You don't want to put this in your body because it's very hard. It's a toxin. So after you can have pain in joints and things, and it's difficult to digest. It's better to prepare, to cut your food, to wash your food, your veggies, your fruit when you're gonna eat them. Same for the fruits, for the juices, no matter which one. You prepare them fresh, no bottle, nothing like that. You prepare them and you drink them. And when you drink them, you let them in your mouth. You don't swallow like that. You let them in your mouth because the beginning of the digestion is made with the saliva in the mouth. So it can seem complicated, but in fact it's very simple. So when I prepare, I wash my vegetable, for example, under the water. I'm in a state of gratitude and blessing because I already have water to wash that. Some people don't have water at all. So only the fact to have water is already a blessing and a wonder. So I wash like that with this consciousness, and also like it's like a benediction. It's also like being thankful for the people who worked to raise these fruits and their vegetable, to the nature, to the sun and the ground and the air and all the nutrients who make this food growing and be for me enough to go in my body, to feed my body. I think, but this is me, when we have this consciousness, we raise the vibration of the food we eat, and like that we raise also our own vibration. Everything, I have the feeling, because this is my way to experiment, that people, I don't say you have to do that. People ask me, how do I do? This is how I do. For me, having this state of mind preparing my food, it's also, I have that because also for me my body is sacred. So it's like bringing something sacred to my body, and I'm sure this helped me as my body to feel good, and I feel good. So because it raises the vibration, it's something when you bring the sense of sacredness, when you work with your mind connected to your spirit. Everybody is spiritual beings. We all have a spirit. We all are connected to spirit. So connecting to that with our mind, with our way to mentalize in a positive way, it creates like an alchemy with the food. And when you cook like that, when you put your love and your attention in the present moment, when you cook like that, you cannot be thinking to something else. You are attentive to the present moment. And a lot of things are coming. It's for that people ask me, what is the recipe? I don't have recipe. Sometimes comes to my mind, why you don't put that? Okay, I do it. and I like that because it's like coming from where this thing. It's fantastic, you know. I have these followers who told me, because last day I posted a kind of paste that is made with ginger, grated ginger, fresh. And it's one of my followers who gave me this kind of little recipe, ginger with honey, raw honey. And I have ginger, I have raw honey, so I did it. And I had a piece of fresh turmeric. And I thought it's going to be orange, it's going to be beautiful. I'm going to put some turmeric in. And I did this paste. And I did a video. And one of my followers said, is it possible to put dry cumin instead of fresh? And I said, cumin? And I told him I never said cumin, it's turmeric. I said, it's a man. He said, I'm sorry, I did a mistake. I said, no, I think I never seen mistakes. I see that the higher self, your higher self, took control and make you hear or see cumin instead of turmeric. Because maybe it's something that you can experiment, and maybe cumin is something that you need. So you hire yourself to control. And when you see life like that, when you see that there are no mistakes, sometimes you do a detour. Oh, I mistaken the road. It's not the right one. Who knows? Maybe you were protected. Maybe it would have been an accident. There is no mistake. And after you think you are late and you arrive and everything is fine, but maybe this time you were late. It was also the time that something else happened or could happen and you have been protected. So my life, I live it like that. So for me, I listen, and if I don't really deep feel to don't do something, I don't do it. Even if, for example, I plan to go to visit friends one evening for dinner and suddenly I don't feel good, I don't feel to go, I really see if it's because I'm lazy. It's possible, because if I have 1 hour, 1 hour drive and a half, it's like, okay. Or if it's really because there is something deeper, but for me it's better to stay at home. So for food it's the same. I have no rules about how many meals a day, because I never know. Every day when I go to sleep, I'm thankful for the day, and I try to see what happened during the day. And every morning when I wake up, I'm open for the new thing that's gonna come that day. I don't plan. Sure, I say, oh, maybe tomorrow I'm gonna do my accounting, but I ate. But I plan things like that. But if something arrives in the middle that was not planned, and it sounds that I have to do it, I do it. And the accounting will wait some hours more or tomorrow. I prefer to do things when I decided to do them, because I have a feeling of accomplishment. But if something comes in between and I feel it's important to do it now instead of the other thing, I do it, and I don't feel guilty. Guilt in food is also very important. I love pleasure, as you may know. I love things that are good. I love food. I am also at an age where, with all the experiences I had in my life, I'm at peace with myself. I had time where eating was more complicated, because also when I was much younger and I had a family, I was cooking several times a day, and it was not so easy. For that, it's totally different when you have children and when you are single or when you are in couple. So I had a family life. I raised 2 children, and I had to cook at least twice a day, and sometimes 3 times a day. And this is challenging. But for me, it was not, because I'd been raised in a restaurant business family, and I also been used to take care of my brother or sister, but also of my grandmother on my mother's side, was losing her mind, and I was 8 years old. So I was coming back for lunch, and she was not even know who I was. So I had to go to the store down in the street to buy food and to prepare food. So when I had children, for me it was not complicated, because I already did that, and I saw my parents, my aunt, my grandmother cooking. So for me it was really easy. I've been raised in that. Now, at the beginning, I was making these regular meals every day, and I was cooking in a more traditional way, like French cuisine. So it could be like maybe a little bit more heavy than what I eat now, but I was already steaming vegetables and fish. This is something I was already doing. I had not at that time the tool that I acquired in 1987 that I speak a lot about, the Vitalizer. I'm not paid to sell them, not at all. I just go at point when you order, and I can offer to my friend or people I know who would be happy to have it. It's what I do. So I have absolutely no benefits for myself to promote the Vitalizer. The only thing that I like is because it's something that totally changed my life for the best in a simple way, and I love simple things that are fast and healthy. So it's since 1987 I had that, and I use that, and forgot I had a steamer under pressure and all that. This is not really good. So I changed my way to cook and to eat regarding some period. But the base always been, as much as possible. It's not always possible. I'm not also fixed on that. Always been to have organic, because people are gonna say to me, yeah, but organic it's expensive. It's not expensive, because when you eat organic, and this if you do the experience long enough to have only organic produce and to have a variety in your food, not eating always the same thing, you will see that you eat much less, because your body found the nutriment it needs immediately in the good produce, because they are rich in this element that the body needs. If you take product that don't have this nutriment enough, your body gonna crave to eat more food to find the quantity that it needs. When you have this rich food, you eat less, so you need less quantity, and instead of taking a big piece, for example, of fish like that, you need only half, because it's rich. There is everything you need there. So this is one thing. One thing that can help about quantities is also to have in mind that your stomach is big, more or less like that, when it's empty. So it can expand for sure, and a lot. But try to kind of imagine that when your food is chewed, when it's in liquid, it feed that a little bit more, but not too much. So your quantity in your plate, I eat absolutely everything. I don't say, oh, I don't eat that, this is not good. They say this is, I don't eat, one thing I don't eat, but everybody says it's great, it's kale, because kale doesn't appeal to me at all, and I don't feel good when I eat them. So I don't eat them. It's so simple. Your body knows. Because some theory we say you have to do that, this is good for you, this you have to avoid tomatoes, avoid potatoes, avoid pepper, No, you have to try. You have to try, because everybody is different. We are all different. And we have all a different alchemy. And it's also regarding our own history, family history, ancestors' history, and also all these are molecules, and the way these molecules are, vibrating with your own vibration, gonna make the difference. And something that is good for me, that I really love and works very well for me, maybe will not work for you. And it's the same for everything. So the best thing to do is to experiment. Now, regarding the number of meals, I'm single, I eat when I want, I do what I want. And I don't fix myself with rules that I have to have 3 meals a day, because it's like that it has to be, and this is a good way. No. For me, it's more simple. I wake up, the first thing I do, I take some hot water with lemon juice, and I do this since ever, it's not new. Or with these days I have grapefruits from my friend's garden. So I take grapefruit juice in hot water, or I can have a ginger tea that I made, or I can have, any kind of fresh herb tea first thing in the morning. This is really, this is the routine and the constant. I cannot be without that when I wake up. After that, it depends. It depends if I go straight under the shower and do yoga, or so I will do it without eating. I prefer to do yoga in the morning or exercise when I am empty, after this little morning tea. So if I go out for a walk, I will have my breakfast after. So if I go out, I come back, I drink some water, I make me a coffee, I check my emails. It's already 11 in the morning, because I wake up maybe around 5:36. If I do these activities, coming back, doing exercise, it's already 10:30, 11 in the morning, and I am at the time of breakfast that people took earlier because they have another rhythm, but it's gonna be my breakfast, brunch, lunch. And sometimes, like today, I had my breakfast, brunch, lunch at 4 o'clock when I came back from my errands, because I was not hungry. I took a coffee this morning doing my emails, responding to my emails, preparing things that I had to do to go out. And I was not hungry. I will not eat if I'm not hungry. But this don't mean that I don't drink water. I drink water a little bit, like a glass during the day. I don't know how many. People ask me, how many liters, how many do you drink? I don't know. I just drink. I just don't forget to drink. And I drink, or I make me a tea or fruit juice, and squeeze just now. I drink that, but I drink liquid during all the day. This is true. Now, when I feel that I want to eat, it's very exciting because it's like testing myself. What do I want to eat? I always have a lot of food. My fridge is always full of veggies and things, and I have always kind of sardines of cod liver because I love them in case of I don't have fish or something and I crave something like that. I have them. So I have these basics with me. I don't eat a lot of cereal. I don't eat a lot of pasta. I love it, but it doesn't come to my mind because I love so much veggies that the priority is to steam veggies and to add them simply with olive oil and lemon or balsamic vinegar. Very simple food. And this already feed me a lot. So I can have soft boiled eggs, I can have steamed fish, and it can be sometimes I do only one meal a day. And I feel good like that. Maybe you will not, but me, I feel good. And maybe this only meal a day can be or at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And after I'm gonna have a fruit juice around 2 or 3 in the afternoon. And the evening I don't feel to eat. So maybe I'm gonna have a bowl of bone broth with some strawberry. And or sometimes I will steam some fish the evening with some steamed veggies. Usually I have 2 meals a day. I don't have 3 meals. I don't have snacks, and part if I make a fruit juice, but it's rare. Or maybe it can be a piece of black chocolate, dark chocolate that I make, some nuts. But I'm not, okay, it's time to have my snack. No, it's more simple. It's when I feel to eat. And this gives a lot of peace because it's not an obligation. It's something that you enjoy and you feel, I start to feel hungry. Am I going to make something good? And you are like excited and you prepare and it's become like you are like salivating, just at the idea you are going to have this beautiful food to enjoy. And I take time to put them in a nice plate because the beauty for my eyes, seeing something beautiful, also is part of my ritual, of my routine. I cannot eat in a plastic can. I see sometimes people who are making their salad in plastic bowl and they eat like that. No, I have these beautiful dishes. I'm at home. I will eat like that. I will take time to make it beautiful, and after I will wash. Sure, I don't have a dishwasher. I will wash, but there is no problem with that. It's part of taking care of, and it's a beautiful thing. So this is a thing. I was thinking about, in fact, about my babies, when I was feeding my babies, because people ask me, and about kid, how have you done with motherhood? As I said before, for me it has not been very difficult because I've been raised and used to take care of my brother, sister, and even grandmother, and people around me. I was used to cook for a lot of people. I cook as well in the restaurant of my grandparents and my father for big groups. So do pastry, big meals. So I know how to do these things. So for me, it's not complicated. But when my babies were babies, I was breastfeeding them. And I was 17 when I had my son, 17 and a half. So I was quite young. And at 20, I had my daughter. So I was a young mother, but I was not at all worried about how I'm going to do because I saw my mother did, and I took care of my little baby sister who was a baby when I was 15. So for me, it was not complicated. And breastfeeding for me was the best thing because for the same way I am with me, I was not, for example, awaking. But this is me. It works for me. Maybe it's not good. Maybe some people are gonna scream, "Yo, you cannot do that. They have to eat each 3 hours because what?" So for me, I was in empathy with them and feeling. I never had babies screaming, not sleeping, and things because I think they were feeling I was secure in myself. I wasn't scared. I was confident, and I think the fact I was at peace with that and knowing what I had to do somewhere, they were like at peace as well. So the night, for example, I knew it was time for the baby to eat, and I was feeling, okay, he moves a little bit. Okay, I do I wake him or no? No, I let him sleeping. So maybe it was 1 hour more of sleep, and me I could sleep a little more. And after he was awake, I felt him moving. I was breastfeeding, and he was falling asleep without changing the baby because this can wake again. I was feeling, oh, it's just a little bit of pee, it's not a problem, he can stay like that. And I was letting the baby like that, asleep at the breast, his little, thing, and still asleep. And I was lying beside me, they were in a small basket beside me, and I was sleeping again. So I cannot say I suffered about white night and all these things. And it's not because I forgot. It's also because I made my life like that. And because I was in empathy with their need in the moment, not because you have to awake your baby that is sleeping very well because it's time now to eat. You can wait half an hour, 1 hour more. And I think when it's like that, it makes life easier for everyone. And I had the feeling they were fine. They never been sick, or they were not underweight, or they were. It's not about that. It's about feeling. And for you, it's the same. How do you feed your inner child? How do you feed? What consciousness do you feed yourself? Is it because emotionally you are, demanding about attention, and you have the feeling when you put this food, mostly sugary food, is for people who are in need of affection, deep, often unconscious, maybe a lack of attention from when they were a baby, or that they felt, but it was not maybe the case. So it's all a question of perception. So it's good to feel how the connection you have with yourself gonna determine how you're gonna eat, what you're gonna eat. You're gonna feel, for example, I love almost all the food, but I don't love kale. But sometimes even the food I love the most, I have no desire to have it. And sometimes, like for example, I did this long trip in the Middle East, and when I travel, I never eat fresh, raw. I eat always cooked food. It's for that, since I travel everywhere, I never been sick because I eat only the food that is cooked. And I must say that my body was very happy with that. And me, I'm someone mostly used to eat a lot of salad, like dandelion and watercress and arugula and all, carrots and all these things that are raw, red cabbage and all. But I was feeling really, really good, to the point that when I came back, I changed a little bit my routine. And I eat much more cooked food now than I was eating before this trip, because also maybe it's another cycle, and my body feels much better now. So it's that you have to find your balance, you have to find your rhythm, you have to feel, it's like testing. Oh, no, I love coffee, but I don't feel to have coffee. And you know what happened? For me, it's easy as test. I don't have to test a lot. I take coffee. I love black coffee. This is really one thing that I have almost every day. But maybe after 4 or 5 days, the coffee that is still the same, don't have, or more or less, I do it the same way, doesn't have the same taste. It's not exciting anymore. So I stop for a couple of days or 3 days. I don't take coffee. I'm going to take a tea, and I have tea. My favorite is Earl Grey. So I'm going to have Earl Grey, and I'm very happy to have it, and I forget about coffee. And suddenly one morning, I smell the coffee. I'm like, yes. And it's good because now my body is okay again, because I think our body get bored when they have always the same thing. Are you happy to do always the same thing? Like at the chain, always the same thing? No, me, I'm not. So my body is the same. It's like, So, and I go back to my coffee and I really enjoy it. So it's that. How can you function like that? And also try to make this exciting for your children, to make things beautiful. I remember they prefer when it's beautiful setup than just put like that, And if you educate them like that, they will continue that, because it's the only thing they will have known. I see my daughter, she's a better cook, a baker chef than me. She's cooking amazingly well, but really even more complicated cuisine. I'm amazed how she can do things and how she's clever to do it. And I'm like, wow, me, I don't know how to do these things. Me, it's more basic, simple. But she has this art, And I know men who are cooking very, very well. I have a lot of chefs that are men. And some of my friends, they are like, wow, very interesting. So take time to feel, because you are unique. And you have to find your own way. There is no recipe, there is no obligation, it has to be like that. Try things. I tried many years ago the diet regarding the blood type, and it was interesting. But after I evolve, I'm not staying stuck in that. I feel what through this that is better, what I feel more comfortable with, and this I don't see a lot of change. I had a little bit of psoriasis in my scalp, and for 1 year, I totally suppressed. I took the book for food for psoriasis. It's not a big deal, it's just a small patch like that, but it was terrible, itchy and all. I have not seen any difference, and I've been, because I'm really like free, but if I engage myself in something like a diet, because there is an issue, like this psoriasis thing, I engage, I do it. So for 1 year, I don't have tomatoes, that I love a lot, because it's one of the elements you cannot have. Tomatoes, all the shadow, produce. Tomatoes, eggplants, pepper, potatoes. I don't have that for 1 year and more. I have not seen any difference. So it was a good experiment. So now it even reinforced me in my way to be in the moment and feel if this pass or this don't pass. That's it. And it makes my life much more easier, and I can enjoy everything, and even tomatoes and eggplants and all these things. Voila! So now I have to do the same thing in French. I wish you a good evening, and be inspired to feel what you like, and go online. If you need recipe, go online. You see what I do, French crepe, you don't have the ingredient, go online. It's simple, we have everything now. Voila, bye bye.